Good morning, welcome to Headline Focus here live on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. It is Thursday the 3rd of May 2018. Let's have a look at what's making the political news today. So one thing which is going to be absolutely driving today, and indeed probably tomorrow as well, is what's going to be happening in the local elections. So most of England goes to the polls today in some capacity, around about 150 town halls and 7 mayoralties are up for grabs. Not in London, of course, Sadiq Khan's going until 2020 before he's next up for the vote. But the London vote is going to be the real focus on, or seemingly in the reports today, going to be the real focus of what's going to happen in this local elections, because every single council seat is available. It's up for grabs for whoever's going to get the majority of the votes this time round. Now, post-general election 2017, the key thing people are going to be watching for is how are the Conservatives going to do and how are Labour going to do, because in the past few months it's been very, very highly reported that Labour are going to be taking a lot of seats of the Conservative Party and really sweeping to a very strong victory in London, and particularly taking off some of these key Conservative target seats, which have always been bastions of conservatism in local authorities in London. So Labour are targeting several Tory-run councils. That's been widely reported over the last few months, including Barnet and Hillingdon, which are have a strong possibility, at least, of turning to red after today, and Wandsworth and Westminster. Now, if Wandsworth and Westminster got taken over by Labour-run councils, then you know that the Conservatives have had a particularly bad day, because they are the two key boroughs where Conservatives have always done incredibly well, and would indicate that the Labour Party really have eaten into the Conservative vote. The key thing as well, there's no election reportedly coming up this year, but this will be a very good indication post-general election what the public mood is. Now, in London, that's one thing, but around the country as well, there's several other cities where have a significant number of seats up, but also around England as well. What's going to be happening to UKIP voters? What's going to happen to disillusioned Conservative voters? What's going to happen to Labour voters who aren't happy with Corbynism? And, of course, the Lib Dems are there as well, the party of anti-Brexit, or rather fighting Brexit. Are they going to be picking up votes as well? A lot of interesting dynamics going on. There'll be results coming through probably tomorrow evening. But nonetheless, something to keep your eye out for. And obviously go out to vote if you have indeed registered. Next up is back to Brexit. Now, Theresa May, the Prime Minister, has got herself in a bit of a bad position, very, very difficult position in terms of her Brexit war cabinet, made up of all her senior cabinet members and indeed senior Brexit influencers and soft Brexit influence as well within the cabinet as too. The reports are that yesterday they had this crunch meeting to do with the customs union, and it did not go too well in terms of what Theresa May was hoping to achieve. She was hoping to get some kind of consensus, hopefully around her proposals for a new customs partnership deal with the European Union. That categorically did not happen. She now has a week, reportedly, to come up with this compromise with her top team in order to get an official government position in terms of the customs union. Now, the two problems with this is that if she doesn't get an agreement with her top team, she's going to be forced into two options. One, which is to stay in the customs union post-Brexit, something which some of her fellow colleagues on the backbenches of the Conservative Party wouldn't be necessarily too unhappy to see, or leaving the customs union without a deal as well, which would be, many people are widely reported to be very difficult in terms of the UK and be quite a shock to the system, having no phased process leaving the European Union. Now, two people in the War Cabinet Committee were the surprises of yesterday. The reports are that two waverers who were on the fence, who had been recently promoted by Theresa May, that being Home Secretary Sajid Javid and Defence Secretary Gavin Williamson, actually sided against Theresa May yesterday, saying that they did not buy her proposals for a new customs partnership, saying it's too difficult, too bureaucratic, it's not going to work in terms of future trade. And that means that the tip of the balance in terms of the voting of Brexiter and soft Brexiter is very, very on a knife edge. And certainly Theresa May does not have the leverage that perhaps she wanted. The other two conditionals, of course, is Parliament could force a customs union arrangement if the vote goes through the Commons, as it is coming back from the Lords now. And secondly, as well, Brussels has rejected both of the two possibilities for a customs union already, that being the customs partnership arrangement in particular, but also this idea of trusted traders, maximum facilitation arrangement, which Brexit influencers in the cabinet are hoping to get through as well. So really, really interesting dynamics. The next week will be really important for Theresa May to find a customs union agreement in her party and indeed for the government going forward. Finally, one more story then. Cambridge Analytica announced that it had shut down. It shut down yesterday and Wednesday, reportedly. It's, of course, the political consultancy, which is accused of acquiring data from 87 million Facebook profiles for use in political campaigns as part of the Facebook data sharing scandal story, which were reported on many, many weeks ago. MP Damien Collins, chairman of the Commons Digital Culture and Media and Sport Committee, told the BBC that I think is absolutely vital that the closure of these companies is not used as an excuse to try and limit or restrict the ability of the authorities to investigate what they were doing. Now, obviously, it's reported that the reports are that Cambridge Analytica is blaming the closures, or said that the closures is due to loss of business since the scandal, and the media reports since then, and obviously denies any wrongdoing. But just interesting there from Damien Collins, the chairman, what's going to be happening in terms of future investigations going ahead. That's pretty much it for today. You're up to date. Don't forget you can find all the latest on what we're doing here on Core Politics on our Facebook page and Twitter right here. We've got brand new Inside Europe episodes from yesterday. We went to Brussels. Really, really interesting stuff there. Go and take a look right now. But from me and all the team here at Core London, I'll see you again tomorrow around about 9 o'clock.